What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the REF Sense YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have everybody here. I've got to tell you, this week I was rocked with some news. Apparently I'm a little bit behind, but Armani has just announced that it is discontinuing two of my favorite fragrances from the Armani Code line. I think they're absolutely amazing. I was so sad, but you know, they've got to make way for their new Armani Code Profumo and the Room for Growth. I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. I'm not going to try to rationalize it or anything. I'm just going to say it's a shot to my soul. So I figured this video would be a great chance to go over some amazing and awesome discontinued fragrances. You know, discontinued fragrances, they add to the uniqueness of your collection. And let's be honest, it's just really cool to have a fragrance in your collection or a couple that are very, very hard to find. And so we're going to go over 7 of these great fragrances. And yeah, I hope you're ready. Let's do it. All right, for spot number 1, we're going to have to go with the ones from Armani that just got announced that were being discontinued. And I'm going to do them in a pair. And like I said, they made me so mad when they discontinued these. It is Armani Code Profumo and Armani Code Absolu. My friends, these are gems. This is a really great, the Armani Code Profumo. Let's start off with this one, as a matter of fact. Armani Code Profumo, a really great fragrance, especially for teenagers, because it is strong, it is bold, and it is sweet. Amber based, but it's not like blatant amber. It almost gives off this vanilla type of vibe with some of the other sweet notes that are in there, and it reminds me a lot of something like a vanilla Coke would smell like. But it is so super good, and I think that if guys are looking for a good, unique alternative to something like Versace Eros or Azzaro The Most Wanted, something that's good for nights out, but is not going to be like what everybody else is wearing, this is definitely a good one. But you'll have to be vigilant in how hard you look for this, because this one is increasingly hard to find over the last few weeks. And the next one, like I said, that got discontinued is this gem, the Armani Code Absolu. My friends, a severe vanilla bomb. I mean, it is big time vanilla. But I just talked about this in one of my previous videos here recently, in the fact that I love how the vanilla in this one is so useful. You usually think of it being like a date fragrance. You usually think of vanilla being a note for going out in the evenings, but it has this added note of suede in here, which makes it a lot more versatile. Suede is a note that actually kind of smells to me like an expensive pair of shoes, brand new shoes straight out of the box. But when you add that with the Armani, or not with Armani, but when you add that with the vanilla, it just adds so much versatility to it, so that you can wear it to the office, so that you can wear it to church, so that you can wear it for the nights out still. You can wear it for date nights. I think it's very well rounded. And if it's not too humid in the summertime, you absolutely can pull this off in high heat. So my friends, pay your respects. Armani Code Profumo and Armani Code Absolu, they're going away. Much love, my friends. Next up on our list, we have a fragrance from YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. It is a 1995 release that I think was really good, and I was turned on to this by a friend of mine who is a fragrance influencer on TikTok named Brand Synth. He talked about this one a lot, and I finally just said, you know what? I got to get this, and I found it in a shop. I picked it up, and I have no regrets whatsoever. This is YSL Opium Pour Homme. It's a borderline fougere, like a borderline barbershop fragrance, but I don't think it fully hits on that same level of something like Beau de Jour from Tom Ford, you know. It's a little bit spicy, it's a little bit woody, it's a little bit dry and powdery. You know, it's hard to put put your note or nose on what it actually is if you were to label it as one or two things. But I will say this is a pretty mature scent. It's got some top notes of star anise and black currant, kind of like an herbal and sweet opening, but as it dries off is where you're going to get your spice, like your pepper, and a little bit of cedar along with some vanilla. You know, the thing about this one, I've talked in a couple of my videos, is the atomizer is just god-awful. It's like an atomizer from one of those cheap hairspray bottles that you would find at the store or something, but it sprays a hell of a fragrance. You know, it performs really well, and yeah, it just sits on your skin really well too. It's not a punch in the face to anybody that is going to be around you. But from what I saw, I looked it up and I saw that it started fading out of the market in Europe first, becoming increasingly hard to find over there, and then here in the United States it started becoming increasingly hard to find as well. And I started looking around for it, and I even saw a couple of these bottles on eBay, and we're talking about $190 to $200. Yeah, that's a little bit too expensive for my taste for this fragrance. But overall, I would say that if you stop into a store like in a mall or an outlet store and you happen to see this for sale, I would say that if it's $80 or less, it's worth a purchase. So there you go. YSL Opium or Homme. You will be missed. Guys, you know, the more I get into this list, the more depressed I get, because fragrance number 3 is such a superb fragrance and probably one of my favorite blue fragrances of all time. It beats out Bleu de Chanel. It beats out Versace Dylan Blue. It beats out Dior Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Oh, I miss this one so much. It is from the house of Bulgari, from their Aqva line. It is Bulgari Aqva Atlantiqve. I have not seen this for sale online in months and months and months. I dare say maybe even over a year. But it is such a great spring and summertime fragrance that is super versatile. It is super rich and will definitely pull compliments. It's got some watery notes and a little bit of lemon and bergamot on the top. And then as you get dry, or as you dry off a little bit, you're going to have some aquatic, salty sea notes in there. A little bit of apple brings a bit of a sweet punch to it. And then on the bottom is when you get some sandalwood, some patchouli, and some benzoin, amongst a couple of other notes as well. But you know, this one they're starting to discontinue, from what I've seen, all of the Aqva line, and this one, along with the Aqva Marine, are really great fragrances. And I used to describe all of the fragrances as, you know, the Aqva Amara is for formal occasions, the Aqva Atlantiqve is for nights out in the summertime, the Aqva Marine is for daytime summer and things like that. But overall, man, this I think is every bit as awesome as Bleu de Chanel and should be loved as much as Bleu de Chanel. You can wear it daytime, you can wear it nighttime, you can wear it spring, summer, fall, winter, you can wear it for dates, you can wear it for formal occasions, you can wear it casually. Anytime you want to wear Aqva Atlantiqve, you will not be disappointed. Oh, it smells so freaking good, and I can't believe I'm wasting sprays in the air like it's nobody's business. I need to conserve this stuff. But Bulgari Aqva Atlantiqve, you will be missed, my friend. You will be missed. I don't know why I pounded on my chest there, but whatever. Here we are at fragrance number 4, and this one, it is so freaking good. It is the baddest of bad boy fragrances. It is everything that a rock star or someone in a biker gang should wear. But alas, it's been taken from us. From the house of John Varvatos, we have Dark Rebel. Oh my word. And you know, just because, I want to tell you guys, just because fragrances are discontinued doesn't mean that you can't find them. I was actually in Tampa, Florida a couple weeks ago doing an event for our Parfums de Marly, and I stopped in the mall that I was in, and I stopped by this by this random fragrance store, and I saw this one for sale. Now, I didn't have the money to get it at the time, but it was like $90 in there. So if you look in random places, you can still find these for sale, even though they're not marketed on websites as much anymore. They are out there. But let me get back to the fragrance anyways. This one is a boozy, tobacco-y leather fragrance. It's got some top notes of rum and cardamom. Then you've got the leather, tobacco, woody notes, even some castoreum, which is beaver essence, if you will. It just adds to the dirtiness of this. Do not expect to smell anything like Tom Ford's ombre leather. You're not going to smell anything like Tom Ford's Tuscan leather even. This leather fragrance, it stands on its own. And when I first got it, I'm not going to lie, it took me a little bit to get used to it. But as my nose kind of got more tuned to fragrances, and I was able to appreciate the different notes, the different vibes that fragrances gave off, this one earned a spot in my heart, and I'm so glad that I still have it. Definitely a fall and wintertime fragrance. It's probably going to be a little more mature by its scent profile, but as I've said before, anybody can pull it off. If you own the fragrance that you wear, no matter what it is, if you own it, then it can be yours, all right? But John Varvatos Dark Rebel, it will be missed. Moving right along to fragrance number 5, and this is one I actually got early on into my collecting days. It wasn't discontinued back then, and it was the second one from this particular line that I got. The first fragrance from this line that I purchased, I absolutely loved, and so I was like, you know, I've got to go ahead and just continue the streak. This is a complete blind buy, and now that it's discontinued, I fully respect the fact that I've got pretty much a bar of gold right here in my hand. This is from Thierry Mugler. It is Amen Pure Havana. The original one that I got was Amen Pure Malt, which I will always swear by. But this one right here is absolutely stellar as well, in my opinion. If you like sweet honey tobacco, then this is going to be the one for you. It's also got some other added notes of vanilla, some amber, and some cacao, you know, some chocolate. If you've ever smoked a pipe, or if you've ever known anybody that smoked a pipe and you've had the ability to like open a bag of pipe tobacco and smell it, that's exactly what this smells like, and it is superb. Now, this is definitely a fall and wintertime fragrance, and it's very rich, okay? It doesn't have any light or aromatic qualities to it at all. So when you spray it on, it's going to be there for quite a while, much like something like Spice Bomb Extreme from Victor and Rolf would be. But like I said, this is discontinued, and I absolutely hated this line for one reason. I love the fragrances, but this atomizer is it's the bane of my existence. Now, here's the thing though. If you like this fragrance, or if you've ever smelled this fragrance or wanted to smell this fragrance, it's going to be next to impossible to find this for less than $250 right now. But this fragrance is actually surprisingly close to Xerjoff Naxos. And Xerjoff Naxos, I think, is of a little bit higher quality than this one from Thierry Mugler. So if you've ever smelled Naxos, then you've probably smelled this. And if you want to get this and you can't, I would absolutely recommend going for the Naxos. It's stellar, and I think they're not one and the same. There are some slight differences, but only slight, okay? But anyways, this one, it's been taken away from us. Amen Pure Havana. It will forever live in my heart. Well, in my collection too, but in my heart. Next up on the list of discontinued fragrances, we have, coming in at number 6, one of my favorites from Paco Rabanne. It's actually one of my only favorites. I'm not a big fan of Paco Rabanne, but this one was absolutely stellar from the 1 million line. It was Paco Rabanne's 1 million Prive. Very spicy and fruity on top with some cinnamon and mandarin orange. And then you've got some tobacco, myrrh, and tonka bean as it dries off. I've never been a big fan of the 1 million line. The only two that I've ever really liked were the Prive and also the Lucky. I didn't like the original. The 1 million Parfum I thought was mismarketed because it's a summer fragrance in a line of fall and wintertime fragrances. And the Elixir, it just kind of fell deaf on me. I thought it was amongst the same fragrances that kind of smell like some of the Azzaro lines and everything. I was just over it. But the Prive, man, this was something special. I actually just sprayed a little bit on my arm, and this one's just elegant. It's hard to put it in. You feel like it's supposed to be bad boy, but it's not. You feel like it could be a little bit, even a little bit romantic, but it's not because of some of the spiciness. I dare say that this is a great evening out fragrance for when you're with your guys, okay? Now, just like the Varvatos Dark Rebel, I did see this one for sale actually just this past weekend. I was at the Florida State Fair, and there was an expo area where they were selling things and stuff, and there was a big perfume stand set up there, and I actually saw this one for sale in there, but I did not get it simply because the people that were running it were douchebags. That's right. I will absolutely refuse a sale for anyone that just sucks as a person. But they had a 50 milliliter bottle of 1 million Prive for $115. Was it a good price? I think so. Compared to what you'll see this running for at $175, $180, this is going for like niche prices if you find it on eBay. But it was taken from us, the 1 million Prive, a great fall and wintertime fragrance. Decent projection, decent longevity. I'm gonna miss it. I mean, I've still got it, and I've still got a lot of it, but I'm gonna miss the fact that it's not for sale anymore. Just saying. Last up on this list, my friends, I think is probably my favorite fragrance in this entire list of discontinued scents, and it is one that hits me in the chest the hardest. It was only discontinued within the last year, and I don't know why they did it. I wish they wouldn't have, but I guess they gotta make way for other things. From the house of Prada, we have Prada L'Homme Intense. Yes, a lot of you guys know about Prada L'Homme Intense, a really good fragrance that was only released in 2017. It hasn't really had its time to shine, you know, but it is an iris-based fragrance with some amber and patchouli. But the really cool thing I like about this one is it's got a sweet dry down with some leather in there, adding to some of its masculinity. This one is kind of in the same ballpark as fragrances like Gentleman Givenchy's Reserve Privé or Dior Homme Intense. They have some of those woody tones, but iris is the big player, and I'm telling you guys, do not shy away from iris as a note. Even though it's floral, it doesn't make it overly feminine. It is absolutely beautiful on a man. It's a spring and summertime fragrance that can be pulled off in the fall and winter for sure, but mostly for hot weather. I would say at night that sweet dry down with the sandalwood and leather, it makes it more suitable for night. But this is definitely what I would call a romantic fragrance that you can also use as a formal scent. What does it cost? Honestly, I'm not sure because I have not seen this online. But I will tell you this, I have seen it in stores a couple places, and I'm talking about the stores that are just off to the side in malls and stuff, or in outlet malls. Same place that I saw the bottle of Varvatos Dark Rebel, I also saw the Prada L'Homme Intense for sale. It was about $110. Definitely worth the purchase, okay? So do not give up your search for these fragrances. They can be found. You just have to put in the work to look. And I know I hate going to some of these fragrance shops where people try to convince you that their fragrance is 100% oil, and they try to tell you that Armani is the best fragrance that money can buy, when we both know that they're full of shit, okay? But look around at what they have. Look around at some of these designer fragrances that they don't like to push because the profit margin is not really there, and you could probably find something like this. But anyway, Prada L'Homme Intense, you are loved. And there we go, my friends. Oh, this video hurt me so bad because all of these fragrances are absolutely stellar. I would not rank any of these fragrances below a 7.5. I think each and every one of them are amazing in their own right. And I would dare go as far as to say something like the Prada L'Homme Intense gets a 10 out of 10 from me. My last video, I ranked Dior Homme Intense as a 10 out of 10. This one is right there on that same level. But as I said before, do not give up your search for these. You can still find these if either A, you are willing to put in the work to look for it, or B, you're willing to pay the money. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I'm honored to have each and every one of you watching in with me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care.